racist tea to get into because now we're gonna go from the racist world of movies to the racist world of music. Because apparently, this manufactured girl group by the name of KATSEYE, one of the members left, and they said it had to do with, I think she's part of Hybe. Isn't that Scooter Braun's situation? Hybe. But anyway, KATSEYE is a part of that. I believe they were nominated for a Grammy last month, but if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they won. They didn't win. But anyway, so yeah. So things are tense between the group right now, and one of the girls, Manon, I think that's how you say it, Manon or Manon. I'm thinking Manon from the god that Firuza Balk was praying to in the craft. That's what I'll be thinking about when I hear that name. But anyway, so I'm gonna just call her Manon. So apparently she done left the group. They were saying that it had to do with her being sick. She said she's not sick because she got on social media, which got people, the fans, debating whether or not there's some racist stuff going on. So one of the most popular girl groups is embroiled in a racism scandal. You know, this is why girl groups can't last long. Cat's Eye announced on Friday that member Manon Bannerman was taking a temporary hiatus from the chart-topping group to focus on her health and well-being. Her exodus sparked a firestorm among the group's fiercely loyal fandom, with countless fans crying racism, while a growing number of music superstars have thrown their support behind Bannerman. The drama went into overdrive after Bannerman, who's 23, liked an Instagram post from pop culture commentator Simply Simone, who claimed that Bannerman was the victim of abhorrent hate due to her race. The post also said that Black members of mixed race girl groups are often victims of racism. Bannerman is Ghanaian on her father's side and Swiss Italian on her mother's side. Well, that's a cute combination. They said she's the only Black member of Cat's Eye, which is described as a global girl group featuring members from across the world, including the Philippines, South Korea, and India. Bannerman also fueled the fire by contradicting her record label Hybe's public statement about her hiatus. While the label said that Bannerman was going on hiatus to focus on her health, the singer herself took the social media app Weverse to insist that she was fine. She said, I want you to know that I want you to hear this from me. I'm healthy, I'm okay, and I'm taking care of myself. That's what she wrote to her fans. Thank you for checking in. Sometimes things unfold in ways we don't fully understand, but I'm trusting the bigger picture. Thank you for standing by me. I love you endlessly and can't wait to see you again. Now, a handful of celebrities have thrown their support behind Bannerman, including R&B singers SZA and Chloe Bailey, Fifth Harmony's Normani, Little Mix's Leanne Pinnock, and Pussycat Dolls' Melanie Thornton, who are the only Black members of their respective girl groups, have also backed Bannerman on social media, which goes to show that they're saying this is a tale as old as time, the amount of racism and the vitriol and the hate that they had to deal with when they were part of a group. And it's like, what happened to the days where we could just enjoy a good song, a good group, the whatever the product is that these record labels or whatever put together, and we just like it for what it is. But y'all gotta come out here with y'all hate and y'all vitriol and going in and just spewing all kinds of racist bullshit on this girl. And quiet as it's kept, I find it funny that y'all out here being racist when K-pop is derivative of Black music. So, but the fact that y'all put some beige, fluorescent beige people or some Asians at the forefront, I guess it's an easier pill for a lot of y'all to swallow. But y'all can't take it when it's somebody of color is at the forefront. And another quiet thing that is kept, I can't tell none of these damn girls apart. So I mean, Cat's Eye, they've had some cute little songs. They use a lot of urban verbiage in their lyrics or whatever the case is. So I don't understand how y'all could be so damn racist towards a group when, like I said, a lot of what the music is derivative of Black music. So, um, they said, meanwhile, Cat's Eye fans have been arguing on social media about racism in the group, with some defending Manon, while others are claiming that other members of the multiracial group are also victims of racism, including Laura Raj, who is of Indian descent. Uh, hold on, because I done went down too far. They said it's about time we have a serious conversation about how some of y'all continue to treat Black women in girl groups. Singling out the only Black girl of the group is not a good look. The racism is showing. The fans are not going to let this slide. Wrote another. Because remember, when it came to Fifth Harmony, remember when how they were talking about the amount of racism that Normani was facing when she was a part of the group, that a lot of you tired ass fans would go and want to take pictures with Camilla and all the other girls. But when it came down to Normani, y'all would pay her dust. And come on, and no shade, Normani was the prettiest and baddest one out of all of them girls in there. It's just unfortunate that she's not hungry for music success like she was when she was in Fifth Harmony. Because the solo stuff is like, what's going on with that? I saw a recent video of her performing with her two backup dancers at some event, and there was, I guess, some audio issues or whatever the case was. And she said into the mic, y'all just don't want me to be great. So somebody back there sabotaging her. Me says you gonna have to get gully like Beyonce with the bitch. Y'all gonna stop messing up my inner ear sounds or whatever the case is. Y'all gotta stop messing like effing with me and stuff. Make sure it's all together. And stop playing with me and trying to make me look like a fool on this damn stage. So there's also say it's not a competition, of course, but Lara does bear the brunt of colorism in Cat's Eye as the darkest member of the group, darker than Manon, wrote a third. It's also possible to deny the virulent racism directed towards Indians online. I wouldn't be surprised if Laura needed a mental break of her own. A fourth fan who appeared to be referencing the girls' reality show wrote, Manon is just a lazy, untalented mess. Get over it. Well, for those of you out there saying that whether you like the music or not, I watch how Cat's Eye perform. Those girls perform their ass off. And if you're going to get up there and say somebody is a lazy, untalented mess, I like for you to get your fat ass up on that stage and do what these girls do. Sing, dance at the same time and stay on beat and perform for 2 hours. I want to see you lazy motherfuckers that be all, running over with your mouths, be able to do what these girls and some of these other artists out here do. Don't get me wrong, there are some of these current generation pop stars who are relatively lazy and be giving y'all 25% when they need to be giving you 110 when they get up there on that stage. But or when y'all sit up in here and simp so hard for these mid-ass white girl pop stars, Addison Rae. But or is she Latino? Because I heard her parents are going through a divorce, and her father got a Latino Spanish last name Lopez. So but they are white Hispanics. So I guess I'm gonna stick with what I said. So when you up in here giving bare minimum or whatever the case is, and y'all want to pass mediocrity off as fierceness, it's like y'all need y'all eyes checked. So yeah, so they're saying that Daily Mail, which I got this article from, has contacted Cat's Eye's record label and Manon for comment. Now, Cat's Eye will form through a reality TV competition show the debut Dream Academy by South Korean record label Hybe and American label Geffen Records. Well, I ain't never heard of it, but like they said, it's a South Korean show, so clearly the show must have aired over there. Now, the group was created as a global version of a K-pop girl group using a similar training system and style of music, but casting international members who could speak English and appeal to various demographics and regions. 6 members ultimately made it into the lineup. Filipino Sofia La Forteza, who's 23, South Korean Yoon Chae Jung, who's 18, Chinese Singaporean American. Well, damn, there's a lot of mixes up in her. Chinese Singaporean American Megan Skindale, who's 20, and Cuban Venezuelan American Daniela Avanzini, who's 21, along with Indian American Raj, who's 20, and Swiss Ghanaian Bannerman. And they said while all the members boasted a background in either singing or dancing before joining Cat's Eye, Bannerman had only worked as a model. As a result, she was often ranked last by the show's judges as the other members were more experienced on stage. So maybe that's why the girls calling her lazy, because it's like, yeah, you a model. Girl, don't tell me you was out here performing like Cassie back in the day. Because remember, Cassie was a model who they were trying to make into a pop star, and then we heard them vocals. And the Diddy stuff aside, we got to talk about the talent. And Cassie was a pretty girl, but the voice wasn't there. And she was a little mid with the dancing. So if Bannerman is one of those girls that's just a pretty face, but you're not really putting in the work to be a pop star, then girl, that's on you. But the racism is uncalled for. See, two things I already said in this show, and I'm gonna keep saying it throughout some of these topics. Two things can be true. You can experience racism and call it out, but also, I know you're not up there just being a lazy performer. Because they said she was also accused of regularly missing practice and rehearsals, which was a storyline on the group's Netflix reality series Pop Star Academy, KATSEYE. So if you're not putting in the work, sis, you definitely need to be called out for that. But like I said before, and they only been around for 2 years. I'm like, damn, 2 years in, and this is what y'all dealing with. But look, this is why I always said, like, when it comes to these girl groups, it always seems to me like a lot. If y'all notice, a lot of these girl groups don't really last. They don't last beyond like maybe 2 albums. It's like after 2 or 3 albums. I think who was the longest girl group that had the most records? It might have been Destiny's Child. Because it's like y'all, some of y'all can't make it past the 2 or maybe 3 albums tops situation. Danity Kane only put out 2 albums. Or do we gotta go way back like the Supremes? How many albums the Supremes put out? But I'm talking about this current generation that I was alive to actually witness. It's like Destiny Child, I think, put out like 4 albums. Um, TLC, I think, put out 3 albums before before Left Eye passed away. Because it was on the TLC tip. Then it was Crazy Sexy Cool, and then we got Fan Mail. Fan Mail was the last album that we got before Left Eye passed. Um, Fifth Harmony, I think, put out 2 albums. How many did Little Mix put out? Well, look, the Spice Girls put out a couple of albums. They put out like 4, right? Forever was like their 4th album. So maybe I think this might be a tie between Destiny's Child and the Spice Girls. But yeah, a lot. How many did Girls Aloud put out? Look at me sitting here going thinking about all the girl groups. But yeah, it's unfortunate that and Pussycat Dolls only put out 2 albums. Um, so yeah, so it's unfortunate when these girls have to do with this. Hopefully they work it out and Manon comes back and really puts in the work into the group. But look, I always wonder because it's 6 of y'all. How do y'all split that money? Because you know these record labels be ripping them off. But yeah, so that's basically the latest on this right now. I'll definitely be looking into this story as it develops. I remember they did come to the Garden to perform, but they was in the theater because they not selling out no arena. They use the theater, which seats 3,000 people. And I didn't get to work that show, so I don't know how many of the kids was in there that went and bought tickets and how the show was. I need to find out from one of my coworkers if they worked it. How was it? Because they give a lot of the OGs that been there for like 30 damn years, they get all the theater shows usually. So yeah, I'll definitely hear from you. I would definitely want to hear from y'all regarding this. Let me know what your thoughts are on this Cat's Eye story in the comments down below.